Welcome to an overview of the Scarborough East York Service Collaborative site selection process. The Scarborough East York Service Collaborative is in the process of selecting a host site to pilot our holistic walk-in service intervention. The Service Collaborative and Service Collaborative Implementation Team have narrowed their options down to 6 neighborhoods and 10 sites within these neighborhoods that could potentially host the walk-in. A variety of criteria and types of evidence were considered in the neighborhood selection process, including criteria developed by the Scarborough East York Service Collaborative, demographic information, neighborhood equity index, neighborhood improvement areas, and local expertise of the Service Collaborative implementation team. What follows is an overview of this neighborhood selection process. The criteria developed by the Service Collaborative include ensuring that the neighborhood we land on is accessible by public transportation, whether or not a similar service already exists in the neighborhood, whether or not the neighborhood is designated a neighborhood improvement area and an area with high needs, whether there is an existing site attended by youth that could potentially host the service. The final criteria developed by the SCIT is safety of the neighborhood. In addition to the criteria developed by the Scarborough East York Service Collaborative, other information was also considered in the selection process. The demographic information we considered was from the City of Toronto. We used this data to inform the conversations that we had with the SCIT. Key factors that we looked at included the Neighborhood Equity Index score and rank, the population of the youth living in the neighborhood, the proportion of non-official home language, and the proportion of the neighborhood that is low income. We also looked at whether the neighborhood was a neighborhood improvement area or a former priority neighborhood. The Neighborhood Equity Index was a key demographic indicator that we considered in the neighborhood selection process. The Neighborhood Equity Index is a score that combines a number of social indicators, including unemployment, education, a mental health score, and green space. Finally, we used the community expertise from the SCIT to inform the neighborhood selection process. This consisted of anecdotal evidence from the SCIT members on what's happening in the neighborhoods, such as existing infrastructure, what the needs are in the neighborhood, and how services operate in the area. The information was then rolled up and presented back to the SCIT. After reviewing all of the neighborhoods in Scarborough East York, the SCIT arrived at 6 neighborhoods that could potentially house the walk-in. They are Dorset Park, Eglinton East, Kennedy Park, Iron View, which were grouped together as one, Scarborough Village, West Hill, Malvern, and Morningside. After narrowing down the neighborhoods to these 6, the SCIT identified 10 potential host sites. They are Dorset Park Hub, McGregor Park Community Center, Don Montgomery Community Recreation Center, The Hub, Malvern Family Resource Center, The Spot, 90 Mornell Court, East Scarborough Storefront, Heron Park Community Recreation Center, and Scarborough Village Recreation Center. In preparation for the initial engagement visits, we developed a business case and an interview guide to guide the conversations with potential host sites. Once the Service Collaborative approved the neighborhoods and potential host sites, the CAMH team, along with SCIT members, started with initial engagement visits at each site. During these site visits, the fit of the intervention was assessed, along with whether or not there was interest and capacity to support the walk-in. Regular updates were made to the SCIT about these initial site visits. The sites were sorted into sites we will continue to explore and sites that did not meet the minimum criteria. We are currently wrapping up this first round of engagement visits and preparing for the second round of visits with the support of the SCIT. Before starting the second round of interviews, we are also continuing to further develop the service delivery pathway, and we have started conversations with potential service providers. As we continue to move forward in our site selection process and in developing the service delivery pathway, we are guided by the goal of the Scarborough East York Service Collaborative to increase timely access to a range of holistic services in a welcoming, respectful environment, leading to improved outcomes for youth. For more information about the intervention, please visit servicecollaboratives.ca/Scarborough East York or contact Chantal Fougere, the Regional Implementation Coordinator for the Scarborough East York Service Collaborative.